All right. Excited to be here. Thank you everybody for joining. Here today, Vishal and myself are going to present authentic AI in the classroom and how we've been working on a lot of great new features to help support your classroom using artificial intelligence. With this, we're going to show a lot of exciting live demonstrations and kind of sharing some of the usages for our product and how they'll benefit you and your students and parents as well. So I'm very excited to kick this off and share with you all.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. I know it's afternoon on a busy time of the year. It's either school just ended or it's going to end soon. So a lot of things in motion, but really excited to kick this off. And the key piece here is live. Not only are we live, but we're going to show a live demo of the product, and hopefully reduce the number of slides we go through because in learning, we know that people learn by a more engaging presentation and actually showing and telling. That's at least my style. So we'll go through a couple updates across the product, really focusing on that live component and talk about Transform and awesome news. Paul, his team has launched Submit AI officially as of yesterday. This is something that will be available to everyone. There will be a level that everyone will be able to try this out. So really excited to launch this. They just came out yesterday. Transform launched just about a month or two ago. So that's also very new with new things coming. But instead of talking about it, we'll actually jump into showing it and, you know, put all your questions through Zoom. We will be addressing questions on the way, but also as we go through it. Paul gave a quick background, but again, my name is Vishal. I'm the CEO here at Castify, and have been involved with the company, both Paul and I, since our last company called LearnCore. But we've been involved with Castify for over 10 years. So really excited to see and talk about the transition, but more than anything, talk about how this is going to help people in the day-to-day instead of talking about specific features and what a click does. We want to talk about how it can really empower each of us as educators, administrators, but also how it impacts the people that we're delivering content to. So it is Stanley Cup season right now, and in the spirit of the sporting world right now, and there's playoffs. The great Wayne Gretzky had a quote that is, I think, much louder and broadly spread than just when it comes to hockey, but it's skate to where the puck is going, not where it has been. And this is our goal. We have a summer ahead of us. The school year is going to start August, September. We have some time, and the world is moving rapid fast. And the goal of this is to kind of show very specific ways that we can include technology in a way and partner up in a way that gives everyone a solid, confident ground moving into next school year. Things are moving too fast. There's a lot of uncertainty, but it's good to have a little bit of clarity of like, hey, these are a few things that we can move forward with as we right before we enter school, when we enter school, and becomes part of the routine where we lean in on all the themes that are relevant today. So, Paul, I don't know if you are a hockey player, but are
Oilers,
a fan
Wayne
of
Gretzky,
hockey.
not Kings, Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah. Okay. This is the Oilers one. Yeah. Um, but let's start with like stepping back here. The world education, in education, the classroom itself has significantly changed. We go around talking to educators, administrators, even business people all over the country. And there's one common quote: I just need more time to actually teach. There's a lot that has changed in the world and the way education works. And we want to really spend time about how to get that time back, to actually do the teaching, the one-on-one, being the coach within the classroom, the motivator, driving excitement, seeing the students really thrive in that type of environment. And so that's hopefully something that we're here to unlock. So there's three key themes that we see happening. One is there's an AI gap across the board from students to educators to districts. Um, it's just adopted at all different levels. There's a lot of fear in it, but then there's also a lot of opportunity. And we're really here to focus on something that's simple, that's embedded in your day to day, and more than anything, authentic. That's the key word for this webinar is authenticity. The second is, as an educator, there's this theme called accommodation explosion. There's different audiences that each teacher is serving. There's different learning styles from the students. And when it comes to audiences, they're managing parents, they're managing administration, their peers. And in each class, there's a wider disparity in terms of acumen and different grade levels effectively that each person is teaching. It's hard on that side. And then thirdly, the reality around performance, specifically around reading and math, we're at a flat line right now, just if you look at the actual data. And I think it's how do we really improve these? So these are the three themes that really go into what we launched here and what we're talking about with our product and how we can help. So workflow automation, we're here to introduce Transform and really excited to talk about the launch of Submit AI, but it hits on those three items. It's easy to use AI. This isn't something where you have to spend 8 hours learning how to use it. You don't need an instruction manual. This is very, very easy to use. The second is leaning in on authenticity. I think, Paul, you mentioned the AI slop and, maybe
Yeah.
talk about that.
Sure, sure. I mean, I think AI in general gets a bad reputation these days for producing generative AI, what you said, generative AI slop. One of the focuses that we had in terms of using AI, and when we were kind of thinking about how we can leverage this great tool in our workflows, is to produce authentic, real, valuable AI outcomes, not generative slop, right? We're in the video space where there's a lot of that. That is not where we're looking to contribute to the ecosystem here. So you'll see, hopefully you'll see in a lot of the examples that we give about how we're using AI in our tool, that it actually is providing value and not just not junk.
Yes, that's another keyword. All right, authenticity and now value. So before I get into the demo, Transform again has been live the last month and a half. It's a great way to take any video and turn it into a professional document across any specific use case, and I'll go through that. Hopefully, you leave the actually trying to use it. It's so easy to use right after you record a video or use an existing video, you can quickly do it. And also we added a way to translate it into any language, over 90 languages in just a few clicks. As we go through this, I want you to think of a few key themes that we put. So Transform unlocks you. There's these questions. I know being a parent, Paul's a parent, he's guilty of this. So many questions get, sent to a teacher. Hey, I don't understand this new Common Core math problem. How do I help my child study for this test? The way I learn math is different than the way my son's learning math today. And I think that I'm not the only one. I also forgot some of the things on it. So these are, this is a question. There's parents are very demanding. What if you had a one link resource bank for parents and it's a go-to place instead of dozens of emails? It helps create one thing. AI is difficult in the sense of, there's prompts that you put in, you don't remember what you wrote, but you never have to remember another prompt. We have ways of saving things now that if the things that you want to use over and over, it's all going to be right there. Weekly newsletters. The key thing is there's to be, top tier in everything is very difficult. But with AI, if you're using it the right, you can have it all. And it's more of a figure of speech, but it's really going beyond expectations where not just doing what you did before in a faster way, but doing more in less time. With one video, you can create over 6 resources in just 1 minute. So I want to actually show you how this works. And and at least start from here on this side. So can you see my screen, Paul? You got
Got
it?
you. I got you.
All right. So here I am in my account within Castify. We're diving in now. And I have all these different folders, but I'm going to focus in on the 5th grade math. I'm building out a curriculum library for next year. And so here I have a few things that I'm starting to build out and when it comes to 5th grade math. And I've pulled videos from our premium library. These are Khan Academy videos, but we can use videos that I record or any video here. But I'm going to go ahead and start with this video. So this is the page, the video management page, where you land on whether after you create a video or you pull a video off the shelf. And highlighting transform is really part of this page right here. So before you share it, you can edit it, you can polish it, you can, translate it, do whatever you want. But we're going to just focus in on transform here. And you can see this video is part of the 5th grade math folder, which I'll share another item as well. Because that folder now can be shared to the whole group. So that one folder can be one link that can be sent to the entire class. It can be sent to all the parents and whatnot here. So here we are in transform. You can see the video on the left side. On the bottom is where you are able to translate this and convert this to the document that you see appearing on the right here. So when I have a video of square roots and I want to teach my class this, this is a video that can be used whether in a flipped classroom approach, whether in live class, and also as a resource for students as they go home and they want to visit at their own time. But, the way people learn best also is it's great to watch a video, but if I'm learning something and I'm watching a video, it's really helpful to have a step-by-step guide that's really right next to it, where I can use both different forms of media. It can be multimodal. I can jump through it and even learn faster. And it fits my specific learning style as well. So here I want to show a couple things. In the standpoint of a 5th grade teacher and actually going through this, couple things come to mind. If I'm sharing and wanting my students to learn about square roots and I really like this video, I can just go down here and select a variety of different items. I can create a how-to guide. I can create a study guide, but I can also customize what I want done here. So now when I go ahead and click this custom side, it saves a variety of different items. I can create a homework assignment from here. I can create a parent guide. So this would answer Paul's question, right? Where, hey, how do I teach my kid square roots? And then I can also have an email newsletter where at the end of the week, it kind of brings a recap and I can send it to the students or the parents as well on this, all from just one video. So now you can almost expand a variety of different items here, and it saves the prompts because it's something that you may use over and over. Here, I've already generated the study guide, and you can see that the study guide has been added directly here. The nice thing here is you can download it. You can bring this into any form, any place that you want. export to Google Drive to document. You can copy it directly to the clipboard and also be able to translate this. And if I translate it, in this case, I translated it to Spanish, I can also download that and have a guide in a different language as well. But that's not it, right? There's so many other items that one video can be used for. The other is let's actually create a homework assignment. So this is something that I've already generated. Here's the prompt. This is a one sentence prompt. Here's where it says, turn this into a homework assignment with my fifth grade class with fill in the blanks. And automatically I get a nice homework assignment. And you can see that there's this button called attach to watch page. This is what actually activates it, where you can send a video and the document side by side, which I'll show you in just a moment. The next part is this parent guide. So this is another one where, hey, turn this into a guide for parents so they can understand how to teach this concept to their child. So it helps do a lot of those. It brings in different tips and tricks. Summer is coming up, or we're already in summer. Sharing examples of what they can do in the summer off of just one video or one topic is super powerful. So this is what I mean about, what you think about is possible just by thinking of these different custom prompts in general. And I'd really recommend think of like the top three that you think you're going to use over and over across any video, and it just gets so many more miles here. One thing that I'll do also is actually generate one. So I do have one here, an email newsletter one. Draft a short email newsletter explaining items we did in class. Let's do to parents and students. So I'll go ahead and save that. Oh, let me just move that and generate this. And as this goes, it's basically using the document, the video, transcribing it, and it'll start to generate the actual video. The nice thing is you can leave and it'll notify you when it's ready. And as this generates, I'm going to show you the watch experience. So this is what you can send to anyone. It's just a link directly here. So here you can see that for students, there's a study guide. As I watch this video,
the square root of 100. And when you so the square root is this big check looking thing.
And you can kind of go through different topics, go through reflection, read it, watch it at the same time. But hey, this may also be helpful for parents. So you can almost have both of the documents attached to it as well. This is one mode of delivery. It's something that you probably already use as a watch page link. And then the other one that I will share here is, let's see if this is ready. Yep. You can see the email newsletter has been sent. But let me copy this email newsletter. I don't need to attach it to the watch page, but I can just copy this, which is what I did. And surprisingly enough, I have my email open. So think about how easy this would be. It helps send the video or the email directly in here. Again, without any screenshots. It would be a little bit simpler. But now, in addition, I can actually go in and add a link to the video that I just recorded. And again, this only took, a couple minutes. And I have a full newsletter built out that I can go in, adjust before it sends out to the students. But it helps everyone get up to speed. As a matter of fact, doing this will actually reduce the number of questions that you get from Paul and myself or other parents as you go through this. So really excited about this. Anything that you think you'd want to add, Paul, on the transform side?
I'm looking very forward to learning Common Core math. through this process. But I think like what you'd mentioned, Vishal, I think um, is kind of true for a lot of AI functionality. Is your imagination is the limit. You can create custom, as Vishal showed, you can create custom instructions and save them as templates for any other kind of use case that you would see for your videos. We're here to give you, kind of like a couple of stock templates and a bunch of ideas, but really it is up to your imagination, and you can kind of hopefully see how powerful this feature is. One thing that I'm very much looking forward to in the way that I learn is, I can go there, I can watch the video, but then there's going to be some part of the video where I imagine, oh, what was that thing again? What was that thing that they said about that one part? Here with this document, I don't have to watch the whole video over again or anything like that. I can jump right to the document and find that bullet that actually answers my question. So that's one of the use cases that I think of a lot in terms of value for this is using that document as a supplemental resource for the video that I can go back and refer to again and again.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit on there's a lot of use cases, but we can, you don't need to think of doing all of them, but maybe starting with a few and having those saved. So it's a routine as you move forward. Every time you do a lesson, or you record your lecture, it's just three things that can be added to it. The other neat thing is all of the different content items that you do as you build. We introduced this new copy share link across the entire folder. This can go to your class, it can go to the community, to the parents, and it can be this evergreen bank of resources too. So again, really helping engage the parents, like build in transparency, but also provide access across the board. So, um, with that, I'm sure there may be some questions that come up. Definitely feel free to chime in within Zoom there. But really excited to introduce Transform, and Paul, it's good to see the demonstration in action. I'm not going to go through this, but there's a variety of different use cases here: homework assignments, guides, email newsletters, great for communication and really fitting each person's learning style in general. All right. So Paul, when did we launch Submit AI?
Um, Maybe about 24 hours ago.
Okay. So we are fresh off the presses here. Launched Submit AI very recently that we're super, super excited about. We've seen a huge pickup in student engagement before this, where engaging students in answering questions. And I'll give a little bit of a preview on Submit, because send a question or a prompt out to individuals to respond to, and they respond via video by communicating, and it can be sent to a group of people as well. So a teacher to a class, administrator to teachers. It's a great way of collecting videos in general. And when it comes to a question, like an academic question, we see on average 5 to 6 attempts before it's actually submitted. So definitely lean in on the practice side of it, but we'll dive into it. This is just a couple items here, but I'm going to go through this, but Paul, I'm curious what your favorite part of Submit AI is, and what you're looking forward to, really seeing when it comes to impact.
Yeah. So again, I think,
So,
can you hear me, V? So I think one of the big
yep.
things about the submit feature in general, and what I love about the submit feature so much, is that when a student takes a test, a lot of times, we're kind of focused on what the outcome is. Did they get the right answer? But we don't really dive into how they dove in, how they calculated that response, or what their thought process was in order to help them better. So that's one of the big values of Submit. One of the big challenges with Submit is how backloaded the effort is. You have to actually go and look at each student and see, how they performed, which is very time consuming. So one of the big things for Submit AI is how easy it makes it for you to both create the prompt of asking the student to demonstrate what they did, and then it also really alleviates a lot of the time and effort it takes into grading, which a lot of that is part of what we do in quizzes, but now we can actually also bring into our submit section as well.
Yeah, no, I think you know, everyone has limited time, so that's the part that it really helps. I will share that the way our teams really built this out is and all the AI in general is in a very controlled manner. So, as someone who's quarterbacking this, whether um, you are the teacher, you can control the settings across the board and the suggestions that come through. So, this isn't something that we just let things loose. Again, we are, COPPA compliant, FERPA, like all of this is extremely important, and it can be customized to ensure that it's used the right way. The part that I love also about Submit is it's authentic. Homework today is you don't know if AI is creating it. You don't know how to actually an effective way to give homework where students are doing some level of work and problem solving at home. And I do believe with Submit AI in the next school year, it becomes part of your arsenal for homework for 2026 and beyond. It actually, it's called AI, but it's an extremely authentic way of being able to demonstrate someone someone's understanding. We in our last company, we really focused on this, and we're bringing it here, where people retain the most if they are able to effectively teach someone else that topic. And it's not just reading something, but it's doing it and then being able to articulate their understanding and ultimately being able to teach it back. And one of the 3 points that really hits home for me on this, what's changed is the performance level, like across the student base. And so we want to do items that actually improve that. And we do feel like by putting the focus on, if we can ensure that students can actually explain and understand the topics, that's where the real power comes out. So again, there's a few things here, but why don't we jump into the demo? Really excited to show this and excited about the launch. So here's what I'm going to do with Submit AI here. So on the homepage we have a Submit sidebar. This can be accessed in a variety of different ways here. And we're going to stick to the theme of square roots. That's the topic of the day right now. So, they just watched this video on how to do square roots. They went through the study guide. That's great. Maybe they filled in some questions. That's great. But let's set up a prompt. Create assignment for 2 problems for 5th grade. Let's see, solve and explain. So you just go ahead and click generate. So this is all new, and I flagged on AI rubric. So this is a brand new experience for you as an instructor. You can go through, and now it helps pre-fill and populate a variety of different things here. So one of the items that I'll go to, I have like it set up in a different account with it all filled out as well, is just give me 1 second here. is the exact same one, but we actually have submissions here, which I wanted to show. So this is the prompt that it came through: solve and explain two square root problems, and it automatically generated this. We can go through, we can edit the topic here, and you can see as it generated all of this, it also brought in a rubric. So it automatically brings in this rubric. This is something that can be customized. You can overwrite it. Definitely important to review all of this before it goes out. We have two different AI coaching items. One is AI grading, which will suggest a score to you, and then you have the ability to approve it or adjust it. But also an AI coach would provide immediate feedback back to the individual that's making the recording, so they can, take practice attempts, but also improve as it goes, and a variety of different links here as well. So I'm going to go through this as a student and actually show how this flows here. So here's a question: solve and explain two square root problems. There's two problems: find the square root of 49 and 81. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the rubric real quick. Complete accurate understanding with thorough explanations. Okay, let's start recording. Has a countdown here. All right, so I'm explaining the square root here for problem number one. The square root of 49 is 7. It's because 7 times 7 is 49. So square root is when the same number is multiplied by itself, and that's the number that we're explaining. And in a similar fashion, the second problem, the square root of 81 is 9, because 9 times 9 is 81. And I'll go ahead and stop. Paul, I know you're much better at math, but
checks out. It checks out.
It checks out.
Yeah.
So now I went ahead and submitted this, or no, I went ahead and recorded this. I can go ahead and preview this. I can rewatch it, but you can see that we added this AI coach concept directly to the individual, and it just shows some very specific tips. So here, you did a great job solving these square root problems. To improve your explanation, you could add a bit more detail about why. I definitely didn't go into the detail of the explanation, which is what is important in this. But I'm okay with it. Let me go ahead and submit this. So now, just real quick, this workflow goes in a way that I'm done. I can download the video if I wanted to, but it notifies the teacher or the person that created the submit topic that, hey, your student has made a submission here. So let me just go back. If the Zoom thing, there we go. And see what it looks like. So here, let me just move back here. You can see that the submissions went from 11 to 12. And then there's this whole other layer. So this is where, Paul, you're saying it takes a lot of time to review every single video. And, the more you do of this, the more time it takes. So if it's a 2-minute video times 20 people, right? I mean, that's 40 minutes of just watching plus time to leave feedback. Like it takes a lot of time here. But now what we've introduced is a few different things. One is we have a summary of how everything's actually flowing here across all the submissions. So in this case, there were 12 people that submitted. And you have an overall overview of the strengths, the areas to improve. This gives very targeted instruction on what you focus on in the next class. But not only there, we have suggestions on what to do. And here you can see a common gap, areas to improve, is the lack of depth in explanations. And so this is the part that really moves the needle the most, the better people can explain. But it also provides suggestions on how to move that forward. And you can quickly, one click, set this up. Um, and then another thing that I'll just share here is let's go to, I think this rubric was pretty tough here, but we'll go to this individual size. So she submitted
Hi,
this.
today I'm going to explain.
And we've also introduced foreign language translations. So people can, even answer it in their own language if there's any challenge there, but it truly provides a level of accessibility and ability to demonstrate understanding across the board. But if this is good, let's say this grade, it's actually a 90. We can go ahead and confirm that, and this provides a level of explanation to us, and then get that set up as well. And then I can go on to the next individual and
Problem one, this group.
in the same way, see a little bit of feedback, make any adjustments, but really be able to navigate through this in a much quicker way. Paul, anything you want to add to this?
Yeah, again, I love this. I love submit as a feature. I'm reminded of a Richard Feynman quote. There's a difference between knowing the name of something and knowing the thing. Submit is fantastic for providing that. And again, this feature allows a lot of that difficult work of creating a submit topic, defining the rubric, and then going through all the videos and evaluating them, and hopefully simplifies a lot of that process for everybody to basically make this feature more accessible. So really, really love this feature in general.
Yeah, I mean, and it's all about making it easy. To share this, you can send it in a link. It's a very simple way, include it in any communication that you want. And you can also now have multiple people be the administrator of it. You can see there's multiple co-owners, so brings in a lot of flexibility across the board here. So excited about seeing that live in action. Used for reflections. Here's just a couple examples. A book review video. It's great for read alouds. It's great, for something a little bit more informal too. Like, what was the most difficult part of the project that you went through? But again, it requires people to present, to explain. They're not using AI to submit. They actually have to be able to communicate and go through this. So it does open the door for learning. And it's not necessarily the shortcut on that side, but we have improved and optimized the ability to grade and give feedback. So that can really speed up. So with that, there's a lot more here. Definitely empower everyone to go and explore these new items. Super, super powerful, and share feedback to us. We're learning, but hopefully this gives you a head start for next school year. And with that, I'll kind of leave it to Paul to share a couple items that are coming up.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very happy. I don't know if everybody is familiar. Doing live demos is always a dangerous prospect, so I'm glad that went well. I was trying to advise Vishal against it, but everything seemed to work
Yeah.
out well.
Got to show it live. Yep.
Super happy. Yeah. And so hopefully everybody got to see how easy these features are to use.
Yep.
Great. So coming soon, we've got a lot more coming. I think some of these have actually launched this week, in fact. Vishal, you shared a little bit about links to shared folders. So now you don't just have to, you don't just share the link to a particular video or a piece of content that you have, but you can actually share an entire collection of content, which is fantastic for being able to consume all sorts of related material all in one place. So really excited about that feature. One other feature that we've been talking about for a long time is user groups. This is a huge feature, allows us to have collect all users, a group of users, maybe a class, for example, as a user group, and make assignment that much easier. So you can assign things specifically to your class, or if you're an administrator, specifically to your teachers, or something like that. So really a long time coming feature that I believe went live today. Um, yeah, and then really in the near term future, you'll see a couple of other really exciting features, custom branding, so you can brand your content to your school's brand or your district's brand. Make sure that all the video is kind of identifiable by the burned in brand there. We've been talking a lot about class link single sign-on. This is another feature that's coming up really soon. Allows you to use your LMS sign on for Screencastify as well. So, no multiple sign-ins, just a very smooth experience, seamless experience between your LMS and Screencastify. And finally, enhanced analytics. This is another exciting feature coming soon. We've got some video analytics, but now we'll have the functionality to actually see, across the organization, usage and grading information. You see the example here about some of the usage, and then as well as some AI generated insights towards how you can better use the product and engage your users even more in the future. So we're really excited about all of these things. A lot of these things are right on the edge. These aren't like long-term um, uh, features that'll be coming out, but these are all like right around the corner. So super excited to launch this and obviously of the launches that we just had this week.
And I'm sure some surprises to come, some good surprises. So,
This
right.
is obviously not a comprehensive list. We've got a lot of other things to call out.
These are exciting. All I know fan favorites in general. So there's some questions that came in. Paul, I'll tee you up on that.
Sure.
So one of them is the AI features um, in general. Like, what type of controls do people have to turn things on or off? And maybe it's more related to Submit AI. But yeah, is there something that you can share there?
Yeah, I think you kind of glossed over it a little bit, but a lot of the functionality around how much AI do you want to use and submit
Mhm.
is pretty fine-tuned. You could see like the AI coaching, which actually does the evaluation of the student's video and gives them directed feedback about how to improve their video. That's a feature they can turn it on and off. The AI grading, the class summary, all of these things, all of these features on a per assignment basis, you can activate or deactivate at your will. So, if you have any kind of concerns about AI usage, or maybe you're fine doing the grading or don't want to provide the coaching feedback, that is all within your control with the Submit AI feature.
Yeah, and I'll also add that we've added separately from Submit AI, more controls in our Enterprise Hub, which is across the whole account. So as an administrator, they can set up different permissions of usage of premium library, of AI, and so forth in general too. Um, so, this is like, as I mentioned, it's AI under control. So that is the main piece. This isn't, the wild, wild west. Like when we enter next year, things are going to be under control, but we're going to lean in on it where we should lean in on it. So I think that's really something that we're going towards. All right. So if I disagree with AI's grade in Submit AI, I override it easily? The answer is yes.
Yes, I think you saw there, and I think with the AI will explain to you why it gave the grade that it did, how it evaluated the video against the rubric.
Yeah.
But if you disagree,
Yeah.
it is providing you a suggestion. You can just accept their suggestion, or you can make an update to it. I think you demonstrated that as well, giving Sai a more generous grade than what the AI did.
Yeah, it's super easy. These are suggestions, so it kind of drives that. So, okay, a couple other questions here. Do do students need a Screencastify account, or just sending links through different platforms will work? Currently, a student does need a Screencastify account. We are opening this up where if they type in their name, or they wouldn't need they need something to so the person submitting it, but that is not live yet, but that is coming soon, where we do open it up for anyone to make a submitting without login, so no login required.
Mhm. That's right.
The other is, can I translate the documents that are created by Transform? I'll let you handle that.
Can I? Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. We have, I think it's 90 plus languages that you can transform the document into. I think you presented as well. Not only does this allow for the translated version to be available on the watch page,
Yeah.
where you can also allow the user to pick a language to translate to, not just the content creator, but also you can download those videos in whatever language you choose for
Yeah.
presentation other places.
Um, I mean, world languages continues to be embedded across the product. It's a biggest, strength of ours is really leaning in on that. So yes. The other question is about cost. How much does this product cost as a part of my plan? So we've introduced workflow automation, which we've been sharing with individuals and districts and organizations as well, which cover both. It covers both of these, Transform as well as Submit AI, but also other items like Enterprise Hub. It is an additional cost, depending on your district subscription level. So it is something that we are, there's a lot of districts that have brought this on. On an individual level, it is also an add-on to the subscription. We cover over 100,000 or 100, not 100,000, transformations a month. And, there is going to be a level of a credit system with the Submit AI side. However, everyone can try this for free. They will be able to use this and see demonstrated value in general. But yeah, becomes additional costs on our end, but we still are looking to make this very effective and as much of a no-brainer as possible, because I think of the potential that can do. Please, we'll follow up, but please contact your customer success rep or email us at success@screencastify.com. All right. So the last question here before we wrap up is, can students download the materials from Transform, or is it only viewable online? And the question is, students are able to download the materials from Transform if they want, straight off the watch page. I can kind of show that to you here as well, where this is a watch page link, and if I'm a student, here's a study guide, I can download this document directly as well. So, we want to live where you're already spending your time, not necessarily just have everyone go to one place. So yeah, a lot of flexibility there. We're super excited to launch this, share this with you. I wish we could just have everyone in one room where we're, talking through different ideas, and but it's really exciting to be able to present this and want a lot of feedback. I mean, we learn from you, so share feedback, your questions. Again, there's a lot of settings that you can set on or off, so don't feel like this is part of everything. You can turn it all off if you want. But this is really the next level that I think is simple, easy to use, part of your workflow. If you have a syllabus, think of which submit topics can help really align with the understanding of each of those topics. And I would just map out a topic to each of those syllabus items, and you have the whole course set up for that.
Yeah, and as we said too, your imagination is the limit when it comes to things like transform topics as well. We put a lot of effort and time in both like conceptualizing and building out these amazing features. We're really excited for everybody to try them out. So please do, if you have an opportunity, try these out and see what the value it can provide.
Awesome. Well, we want to give some time back to everyone. Thanks for joining us and being with us this Thursday afternoon on June 4th. We'll follow up with much more detailed contact info and any questions that you may have in general. So excited about this and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, everybody.